Archibald!
It's you. Don't startle me like that. You'll give me a spark attack.
What the hell are you doing?
You got my message.
On that archaic Discord app? Yeah?
Well, look at this. I hate to say it, but my choice in editor was gravely misplaced.
Oh my.
Look, every message we ever sent, that moat-hoarding bastard has been leaking them to the public. It seems our editor wasn't so discreet with his handling of our messages.
How did he...
Not sure. I did a scan of his little terminal that he uses, and I see a lot of uses of this program called Splitgate. Seems to be some kind of spying
So
technology
I lean over
where...
and I tell him, you're a horrible person.
Archibald?
No! Quick! Through here!
Archibald, you know what our investors told us about jumping through strange portals?
Where the hell?
I must have left a portal open.
Oh no. To my colleague, Archibald, I find myself in a strange world where the laws of physics have taken an indefinite sick day. These portals add a literal whole new dimension to combat that my mind is only barely able to comprehend. Essentially, it appears that if I create a grape-flavored portal in one end, I can instantly transmit myself and bullets to the lemon-flavored portal on the other end. Knowing you, your fat ass has probably already lodged itself betwixt two all-you-can-eat buffets. Wait, that's actually a brilliant idea. This game they call Splitgate is a fascinating one. My wonder with it, however, lies with my morbid curiosity on its survival. With so many movement-based shooters rising to fill the Titanfall-sized hole in people's hearts, such as Dusk, BPM, Ghost Runner, Boomerang X, Blue Fire, N-Chain, Get to the Orange Door, and including more mainstream ones, such as Destiny, Warframe, Paladins, or Doom, I am only left in wonder what this small team of developers will be capable of doing to keep from drowning in the sea of competition. Even simply trying to outpace them will require an entire kingdom's worth of marketing to remain relevant. Even ignoring these challengers to the throne, the simple fact that this game at face value said, "Salutations! I seek to take this genre-defining classic and force it to have copulations with this genre-defining classic means that the Splitgate will forever live in the shadows of these games. And I am certain that the team forwarding this project is sweating more bullets with the soon launch date of Halo Infinite than you on a midsummer stroll up a small flight of stairs. I will confess, Archibald, despite the obvious bastardization of two different games, this Splitgate is riotously enjoyable. I have been riding with the soldiers of this dimension. They seem quite keen on constantly being on the move, which seems rational, being that enemies can quite literally teleport behind you at any time and make you the immediate past president of the Being Alive Club. For some reason, every time this happens, they have this strange behavior of muttering, "Nothing personnel, kid." Frankly, their lack of proper grammar and apparent underage is disturbing, but that may explain why every armor suit here looks like a 14-year-old's rough approximate drawing of Master Chief. In fact, the art and music design in here makes me more appreciative of the world we were foisted out of with Bungie. While there is nothing bad per se with any of these elements, they clearly outline a lack of any real heavy hitters in the dev team. It very much makes me reminiscent of you trying to so-called court, if that's what you like to call it. Clearly an effort was made, but it's quickly tuned out as background fodder. By contrast, these weapons feel rather satisfying to fire. It holds very much to its obvious Halo-themed roots, with good hip-fire accuracy to encourage high mobility. And even though the music can scarcely pass as the auditory equivalent of a McDonald's double cheeseburger, the weapon sounds are quite satisfying. This is, of course, not to overlook the main draw of the whole game. The portal mechanics... this pun is unavoidable, isn't it? Adds a whole nother dimension to the game. I feel like I'm going to vomit. Outside of the more obviously party-flavored game modes, the general on-ground mobility is quite average. You can sprint, jump, hover, and crouch. You can't even slide. I debated whether adding sliding into the game would be beneficial, but after a Cataclysm Titan meta of Destiny 2... it's probably best your portals are your only go-fast option. You can, of course, walk or sprint through portals like some kind of poor person, but that would make you both unattractive and boring. The real way to use this is for momentum boosts. Borrowing from its other parent, you can string portals and the clever use of gravity and boost to get some serious speed. My biggest complaint is that these maps seem to far more favor the arena shooter elements rather than the portal movement mechanics. While good players can, of course, find ways to make these portals function like some Quake pro-divined human trebuchet, there are no maps that truly make you feel like you are trying to push the boundaries. While there may be one or two maps that are good for portal flinging yourself across the map, the rest are just way too claustrophobic for how truly amazing the movement mechanic can really be. It's a bit like watching a falcon try to fly around in a walk-in closet. It's interesting yet tragic, like watching a National Geographic documentary narrated by Gilbert Gottfried. That, of course, cannot detract from the power fantasy this game provides. Every single combat encounter is a blend of puzzle solving and reaction times. A target may elude you and close their portal behind them, but with a little big brain energy, it's easy enough to jump out from behind them like a big scary movie villain. Forthrightly, the possible skill ceiling of these mechanics is unimaginably high. This brings other issues, however, something all multiplayers must face. No-life nerds. If I wasn't already well acquainted with the intricacies of giving enemies unplanned cross-dimensional face acupunctures, I would certainly have struggled to even fathom the possibilities of all these mechanics. In fact, sticking a player who scarcely played first-person shooters into Splitgate would be a bit like dropping a squirrel into the Atlantic Ocean and shouting, swim. This skill gap is adequately remedied, however, with the large variety of game modes. The team behind Splitgate seems to have forgotten that games aren't meant to be fun. These bastards put all kinds of fantastical game modes in here to keep players from getting bored. As soon as we find out who is in charge of this operation, we will have to convince their kneecaps to remove the fun game modes. This can add a great deal of longevity to the game, as if you were bored with the standard shoot the other guy better template. You could try something more off-brand, like the current season spooky game modes like Contamination. Frankly, Archibald, this Splitgate seems to be, at best, a fun free-to-play spin-off of the popular Halo format with decent weapon balancing and movement mechanics, and at worst, another drop in the sea of other movement shooters. If only we could create builds here like we did with the plebeians over in Destiny. To summarize, it has a lot of competition in the ocean of shooter games. There is no PvE mode to date for those who are less interested in getting mollywopped in the PvP arena. You have the capacity to play 4D chess using portal mechanics to shoot through, reach surprising elevations on the map, or reach Mach 5 towards your opponents. The art style is lacking in definition and is overall generic. Music also is rather bland, but the sound quality of the weapons is superb. Weapons function well, feel nice to use, and overall seem balanced. Skill gaps can be quite radical and may be a bit of a rough start for those new to the shooter genre. Overall, the game has a lot going for it and should be looked into for those curious for something familiar, yet different. If this game can keep adding content while supporting itself monetarily, it may have a chance. Not a good one, but a chance nonetheless. Maybe it will drive the bar higher for other independent shooters to follow. I hope to find you soon. Your pal, Reginald.
Remember, Reginald, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad. I don't want your damn lemons. What the hell am I supposed to do with these? Demand to see life's manager. Make life rue the day it thought it could get Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down. With the lemons. I'm gonna get my engineers to invent a combustible lemon that burns your house down.